Hey, I'm Emma Thompson, just your average 12-year-old girl from a small town in Ohio. Or at least that's what people think. My life's not exactly typical. My parents, Robert and Linda, are successful business owners who seem to care more about their lavish parties than about me. But hey, that's just how things are. It's a regular Monday morning, and I'm getting ready for school. I sling my backpack over my shoulder and head downstairs, hoping to catch my parents before they rush off to work. Mom? Dad, you guys here? Silence, of course. I glance into the kitchen and spot a note stuck to the fridge. Emma, dinner's in the microwave. We'll be home late. Mom and Dad. I sigh, grab a granola bar, and head out. Just another day in the Thompson household. As I walk to school, my best friend Zoe catches up to me. Wait up. Hey Zoe, I grin, relieved to see a friendly face. So, are you excited for your birthday party this weekend? The thought instantly lifts my mood. Oh my gosh, yes. I can't believe I'm finally turning 13. It's going to be epic. We chat about the party, Zoe being the only person who really gets me. She knows what my home life is like. At school, I'm putting my books away when I hear Tyler Wilson and his friends snickering nearby. Look, it's little orphan Emma, Tyler taunts. Bet your parents forgot your birthday again this year. I slam my locker shut, glaring at him. Shut up, Tyler. At least my parents didn't have to buy my friends. His face flushes red and he storms off. A pang of guilt hits me, but he started it. Later in Miss Rodriguez's English class, we're discussing To Kill a Mockingbird. I raise my hand to answer a question, and Miss Rodriguez beams at me. Excellent analysis, Emma. You have a real gift for literature. Her praise warms me in a way that's rare at home. As class ends, Miss Rodriguez asks me to stay behind. Emma, how are things at home? She asks gently. I shrug, avoiding her eyes. Same as always, I guess. She looks concerned but doesn't push it. I'm here if you ever need to talk. On my way home, I see Mr. Johnson, our elderly neighbor, struggling with groceries. I jog over to help him. Thank you, Emma, he says warmly. You're such a thoughtful young lady. As we chat, I hear my parents' voices drifting from their home office. They sound tense. We need to deal with this problem once and for all, my mom says. I know, Robert, but what about her birthday party? My dad replies. Perfect cover, we'll use that. Their voices fade as they move away from the window. My stomach tightens. What were they talking about? Probably just more business stuff, I tell myself. That night, I lie in bed, staring at the ceiling. Despite everything, I can't help but feel excited about my birthday. Maybe this year will be different. Maybe they'll actually pay attention to me for once. Little did I know, my 13th birthday would change everything, but not in the way I had hoped. The big day finally arrived. I woke up with a mix of excitement and nervousness. I bounced downstairs, hoping for at least a happy birthday from my parents. Instead, I found them whispering in the kitchen. Mom? Dad? They jumped like they'd been caught doing something wrong. My mom quickly plastered on a fake smile. Oh, Emma. Happy birthday, sweetie. We got a lot to do before the party. Why don't you go get ready? I nodded, trying to shake off the uneasy feeling in my gut. Something wasn't right. As the afternoon rolled around, guests began to arrive. Aunt Sarah and Uncle Tom showed up, followed by the Wilsons. Yes, even Tyler, and my grandparents. Zoe burst in with a big smile, carrying a giant wrapped present. Happy birthday, Em. This is going to be awesome. I tried to match her enthusiasm, but my parents were acting weird. They kept pulling adults aside, whispering in hushed tones. Every time I got close, they'd stop talking. After cake and presents, my dad clinked his glass. Everyone, if I could have your attention, please. The room fell silent. My mom stood next to him, her face unreadable. As you know, Linda and I have always strived for success in both our business and personal lives. But sometimes sacrifices must be made for the greater good. My heart pounded in my chest. What was he talking about? That's why we've made the difficult decision to donate Emma to the Brighter Futures Youth Charity. The room exploded with gasps and confused whispers. I felt like the ground had dropped out from beneath me. Donate me? Like I was some piece of furniture they didn't want anymore. My mom chimed in, her voice calm and practiced. Emma has been challenging. We believe this is the best solution for everyone involved. I couldn't breathe. The room spun around me. Zoe grabbed my hand, her face as pale as mine. Aunt Sarah stood up, her voice trembling with rage. Have you two lost your minds? She's your daughter, not some tax write-off. Now, Sarah? Dad started, but she cut him off. No, Robert, this is insane. You can't just give away your child. I looked around the room. Some people were horrified, others confused. Tyler's mom was crying, and my parents, they just looked annoyed, like everything wasn't going according to plan. Emma. Zoe's voice sounded distant. Emma, breathe. It's going to be okay. But it wasn't okay. Nothing would ever be okay again. I stood up, feeling the weight of everyone's eyes on me. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. What could I even say? Instead, I ran out of the dining room, past the shocked faces of my family and friends. I bolted through the front door and kept running, ignoring the shouts behind me. I didn't stop until my lungs burned and my legs turned to jelly. I ended up at the old playground a few blocks away, collapsing onto a swing. That's when the tears finally came. How could they do this? And on my birthday of all days? I had always known I wasn't the daughter they wanted, but this was beyond cruel. I heard footsteps approaching and tense, ready to bolt again. But it was only Zoe, out of breath and worried. Emma, she began. Don't, I cut her off. Just don't say anything. She nodded and sat on the swing beside me. We stayed like that, in silence as the sun began to set, my world completely shattered. After what felt like hours, I realized I couldn't go home. Not now. Maybe not ever. I wandered aimlessly until I found myself standing in front of Mr. Johnson's house. With shaking hands, I knocked on his door. Emma. Good heavens, child, what's wrong? I broke down, telling him the whole awful story. Mr. Johnson ushered me inside, his face a mix of shock and concern. You can stay here tonight, Emma. We'll figure this out. The next morning, Zoe showed up with Miss Rodriguez. They had been up all night brainstorming. We've got a plan, Zoe said, her eyes filled with determination. Miss Rodriguez is looking into your legal options. Miss Rodriguez nodded. What your parents are trying to do is wrong, Emma. We're going to fight this. Just then, there was another knock at the door. To my surprise, it was Mrs. Wilson, Tyler's mom. Emma, sweetie, we heard what happened. It's despicable. We want to offer you a place to stay until this gets sorted out. I was stunned. The Wilsons? But Tyler hated me. As if reading my mind, Mrs. Wilson added, Tyler's on board. He feels awful about how he's treated you. With few options, I accepted. Moving into the Wilsons' house felt strange. Tyler avoided me at first, throwing dirty looks whenever we crossed paths. One day, I overheard him talking to his mom. Why does she have to be here? It's not our problem. Tyler James Wilson. That girl has been through hell. You will treat her with kindness, or so help me. I retreated to my room, feeling more alone than ever. A few days later, I snuck back to my old house to grab some clothes. In my parents' office, I found a folder labeled Emma Removal Plan. My hands shook as I opened it. Inside were documents dating back years, emails to boarding schools, consultations with lawyers about emancipation, even inquiries to foreign orphanages. They'd been planning this for a long time. I was so engrossed that I didn't hear Tyler come in. What are you doing here? I jumped, dropping the folder. Papers scattered everywhere. I stammered. To my surprise, Tyler knelt down and started helping me gather the documents. His eyes widened as he saw what they were. Holy crap, Emma. Is this for real? I nodded, tears welling up again. For the first time, I saw genuine sympathy in Tyler's eyes. This is messed up, like seriously messed up. I'm sorry, Emma, for everything. It was a turning point. That night, Tyler called a meeting with Zoe, Miss Rodriguez, and his parents. We need to do something, he said firmly. Emma's parents are monsters. We have proof now. And just like that, I had a team, people who cared, who were willing to fight for me. We spent hours gathering evidence and building a case against my parents. We're going to expose them, Zoe declared. Not just for what they did to you, Emma, but for everything. Looking around at these people, my allies, I felt something I hadn't in a long time. Hope. Okay, I said, my voice steadier than I expected. Let's do this. Let's take them down. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. We worked tirelessly, gathering every scrap of evidence we could find. Zoe and I sifted through years of photos and documents, while Tyler used his computer skills to dig into my parents' business records. Miss Rodriguez surprised us by bringing in an unexpected ally, Mr. Johnson. It turns out our kindly old neighbor was a retired lawyer, specializing in family law. "I've been watching your parents for years, Emma," he said, his voice stern. "What they've done is unconscionable. We're going to make this right." As we dug deeper, we uncovered something shocking. My parents' business, the very thing that made them wealthy and respected, was built on fraud. "They've been cooking the books for years," Tyler explained, showing us the financial records he'd hacked. Tax evasion, embezzlement, you name it. We decided to strike on two fronts. First, we'd anonymously tipped off Child Protective Services about the neglect and abandonment. Then, we sent another anonymous tip to the IRS about the fraud. The day after we sent the tips, all hell broke loose. My parents showed up at the Wilsons' house, all teary-eyed and apologetic. "Emma, sweetie, we've made a terrible mistake," Mom pleaded. "Please come home. We love you." I almost laughed. "Love me? You tried to throw me away like garbage." "We were confused, stressed about the business," Dad chimed in. "We realize now how wrong we were." That's when I dropped the bomb. "You mean the business you've been running illegally? The one built on fraud?" Their faces went pale. I continued, my voice cold. "I know everything, the years of neglect, the plans to get rid of me, the illegal business practices. It's over." As if on cue, we heard sirens approaching. Mom started to cry, real tears this time. Dad looked like he might be sick. "Emma, please," he begged. "We can fix this. We're family." I shook my head. "No, we're not. Not anymore." I watched as they were led away in handcuffs, a mix of emotions swirling inside me, relief, sadness, but mostly freedom. 2 years later, I'm 15 now, and life is good. Really good. The Wilsons officially adopted me last year, and it turns out having parents who actually care is pretty awesome. My biological parents, they're facing multiple fraud charges. Last I heard, they're looking at serious prison time. Once the truth came out, the community turned their backs on them. As for me, I'm thriving. I'm on the honor roll, joined the debate team, Miss Rodriguez is the coach, and even started a support group for kids from difficult home situations. Zoe's still my best friend, and Tyler, well, he's like the annoying but lovable brother I never had. The other day, I was at the mall with Zoe when I saw them, Robert and Linda. They were out on bail, looking haggard and beaten down. They spotted me and started to approach, but I just turned and walked away. Zoe squeezed my hand in support. "You okay?" she asked. I nodded, realizing I truly was. "Yeah, I am. They don't have any power over me anymore." As we left the mall, I thought about everything I'd been through, the pain, the betrayal, but also the kindness and love I'd found along the way. I may have lost the family I was born into, but I gained something far more precious. A family that chose me, that fought for me, that loves me for who I am. And that, more than any revenge or justice, is the sweetest victory of all. Emma's journey from betrayal to triumph has come to an end. Now I have a question for you. If you were in Emma's shoes, would you ever forgive your parents for trying to abandon you? Or do you believe some actions are truly unforgivable? Share your thoughts in the comments below.